Okay, so now it's a devlog. Once again, for this it's going to be slightly bit chaotic, I guess, because there's this very good background noise. Same as last month. But yeah, I guess it's like very good. So, well, let's start with the topic. Let's go with what I've created this month, I guess. So, yep. First thing first, of course, is creating a proper splitter to gen this audio. So all of this audio, as you can hear, is kind of random. One of it is from Sora. Just now you hear Dame Dame. Yes, that's Sora. Yes. So that's Sora, the funny Sora. I'm not quite sure like what's the proper YouTube name, but I just remember it as Sora. Sora Kun, Sora Chan, Sora Chan or Sora Kun, San, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, he creates funny video and also streams walking around in Japan. I'm not quite sure if recently he still does that or not, but I think he should still be doing that once in a while. So yeah, and there's another speeches going on, and it's all generated and it's all with some algorithm. Is it? Yeah, I think it's buffering due to the sampling rate. So I'm going to just pause a bit. Okay. So I'm going to start it again. This time the dataset is 100, so good luck trying to like reverse engineer or like figure out what's the random or like the respective audio. I guess because you gotta try hard. But of course some of it is null in a way. Like so there's like 100 audio, but there's some of it is just 0, so there's no actual audio that's going to be played. The duration is fixed. I pick a number, but I'm not going to tell you what's the number. If you want to figure it out, then that's great, and if you figure it out, then you can just type in a comment or something. Yeah. So that's the first thing. This is the first thing that I've done this month, I guess. Week. Of course, the problem is like it's sometimes gonna fail. I think. And then sometimes it's like gonna play, because like some of it is null. So some of it is gonna just pause things. It's not pausing, it's just like it plays nothing. So yeah. So the second thing is the recipe system, which I have mentioned last month, but I didn't tell you that it's a recipe system, but actually it's a recipe system. It's a full-blown recipe system. So let me just quickly bring up a terminal and show you. Let me just see. If I have never dropped out, yes, you all got to drop out now. Okay, so is this
Idea by varying ranges of space between about what makes great typography great. And 17 years later, technology developed statistically cells in a way that science can't capture.
FF. Oh, so not FF play. Is it gonna show a footing? No. Is this gonna show the footing?
Your time
okay, so it does. So yeah, very good. Let's just like quickly just like search the stuff. Where's the folder for that? Yeah, whatever. I made my recipe. So yep, let me just quickly compile it.
I gave somebody chocolate. And I got.
And then let's just like. So yep, this.
None of this would have happened.
I'm gonna just like run.
It was awful tasting medicine.
So ready? 1, 2, 3. And of course,
My next mission.
you're gonna think, what? There's nothing coming out, right? What is this lame thing? What is this lame thing, right? But don't worry. Don't worry. You type G, and then you type a tab.
The man's name was Jack Taylor.
So good. You see this suggestion. Of course, if you want to show every one of it, there you go. There's all of it. But wait, I think one of the recipe is not here. Oh, that's weird. Let me quickly confirm that
Jack Taylor.
I'm not doing some. There's no error or something. Let me quickly confirm. Maybe I could just quickly regenerate. We are gonna just look at nothingness while I'm just gonna debug it. Just close your eyes and relax while I'm thinking. What should I debug? Oh.
I'm going to McDonald's.
The first story.
Wait,
I'm going to McDonald's.
what's that sudden pause? That's funny.
I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 honors had never graduated.
I'm gonna go to get McDonald's and then I'm gonna drop down. Wait, is there gyoza? Yes, there you go. I see. Updated the recipe. So there you go. You see gyoza? You see gyoza? Ooh, yeah, there you go. Okay, so we are going to be curious. Why would I have like this gyoza and aka Hanezuki gyoza? The reason is very simple. Just look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So yeah, this is one of the recipe I extracted, I guess. I mean, like manually extracted just by watching the anime and then like noting it down on my own. So yeah, this is the whole recipe. Just these are the ingredients and you just prepare this stuff. I'm not quite sure what is mira. Anyone that actually know Japanese, like know how to read or listen to it, like proper Japanese, and tell me what is mira. I also don't know what is su or shu. I'm not quite sure. I forget like what's the pronunciation. Soma said. Oh, I mean the voice actor. So yeah, but for most of these others, it's like actually quite easy for me to figure it out. Just type it out and I just notice like, I know it's like this is the right one. So yeah. So anyway, this is the recipe system. As you can see, just now there's like many recipe that have written or corrected in a way. It's not like all of it is manually written by me, but some of it is. I don't think it's even counted as me manually writing it. I just put it into the database. That's it. Most of it is just collected from some sources. So it's like whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the recipe system. It took like 1 or 2 week time to create this. And I further enhance it to make sure it's running, make sure the database, data layout, the recipe, the data. Of course, it's not like a full-blown SQL, if you know what I mean. It's actually a very systematic schema. It's from the schema org. So if you just search it up, you would know that it's just some kind of like layout that you put into a file and you just query it, and I just create like some sort of API to create the data, because like recently Java also introduced like the records class type. So yeah, it's very useful. So if I could like thank the JavaJDK developer or maintainer, then it would be great. I would definitely thank them for like implementing the Java, the record class. It's not even a class, but it's like a functionality. So yeah, I would definitely think to like implement it, and for the original idea, of course. But I mean, like, of course the original idea when it first proposed is like kinda but the final product is quite good. Like originally it's not meant as a boilerplate, but it's just not flexible enough, I think. Because like if I'm not wrong, the original idea is to have like the data and you can just like kinda query them, like get and set, but it doesn't use the get set. And that's one of the things. And the second thing I think that is that you need to prepare, or maybe I think you cannot encapsulate it with other class originally. I'm not quite sure, but in the end it turned out quite good. But of course it still could be better if they wanted to like add more things. But I think the few problems that the implementation have is just simply the lack of documentation right now. If when it's stable and the documentation is stable and there's more reference, it's going to be very useful, honestly. So yeah, that's the recipe thing. And one of the other projects I plan to do is like quickly play audios with FFplay, like creating some wrapper around it. But sadly, I mean not of course, but sadly I just didn't have much time, I guess, or maybe I just don't know how to like schedule my time. Just wasting time there. And busy on other stuff. And then the next thing that I don't think I can show you, but I have created it. It's a sanitizer. It's used to like process and sanitize a whole project. Originally the idea is to just like sanitize one file, So for example, you don't want to have like the logging files, like maybe the SLF4J, maybe you don't like log4j, just sanitize it. And yeah, I just created sanitizer. It's like an app. Any of my app is just a command line application, of course. Just give the file name and you just like do the and process, and there you go. And the output is sanitized code. So you can just compile it with Maven or whatever build tools they have, and it should work quite well. I tested it on Pebble and like some other libraries. I think it worked quite well. I'm not quite sure. I need to test more on more projects and whatnot, then I would be confident enough. But of course, I wanted to thank. No, I should, but I really wanted to thank, because if there's no external FOSS library, then I would not be able to implement that. It's just impossible, or just very daunting and in the very least. So I wanted to thank Roster Forge. I think that it's project, the company or organization is Forge, I think, and they create this roster API, so it's quite good. It worked. And yeah, it's very good. And of course Qdox is also very good. I also use them to parse and for other things, but it's not specifically for my sanitization right now. Maybe in the next time I'll just mix and match, or maybe create a hybrid system, or maybe a dual engine so I can switch around.
guys guess like how much this chocolate
but yeah, after that, I don't think I create anything more. Oh yeah, I did actually improve my ES system, I guess. It's not significant, like even if I show you, you would probably don't know what I have implemented. Like say I give you a quick view, you would be bamboozled and ask me, what's the difference? Right? If I said I improve it, you would be bamboozled. Like, what's the improvement? Because the improvement is not in the UI, it's in the core system, like how the file read, how the user configuration is read and parsed, and maybe some internal functions. I just remove the old one, and maybe remove some of those very bad implementations that uses like Java IO that's like from Java 1, like manually reading with buffer reader and like Java IO file like that, and then it's like really cumbersome. So in the end I just replace it with like more modern one, So yeah, I mean of course like I still remember I still use like buffered reader because it's still the fastest thing. You just, if you don't use that, it's just going to be slower, so it's like pointless. But I think I removed some of the boilerplate that's going around, like parsing the configuration with some cryptic like mapping or something like that. Like it's very bad. The whole implementation is just horrible, like horrible. Like nothing can describe that. So now it's just like very simple: read and make it into UTF-8, put it into like the allocate to other function, and the function just like read and cut, split and read your setting, and that's it. Oh yeah, there you go. It's ES system, and of course you may know that I'm like getting tired, but I'm actually kind of tired, like really physically tired because I didn't get enough sleep and it's kind of late in my time, but it's whatever. don't worry too much about it. But yeah, that's it. And I also improved ES system on the packaging side, on the release side. So that's not what I can really show you. It's kind of slow and it's complex. It's just like tedious. It's just going to like do the configuration, gradle in, set up, resolve dependencies. Yeah, it's just like any other build process. Like it may look cool to some people, but it's just like whatever to me. I don't think that's cool enough to be shot. So yep, I'm not going to show that. But we have another thing to show. Yeah. I'm going to conduct some experiment. So let me just quickly show you the nice thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like actually I do have some special thing I guess for you, but it's like
all the rest of the rental cars. Sorry to be so dramatic.
What do you call this? It's like a bit meat, but whatever.
So don't waste it.
It's not bad at least. Wait, automatic.
Have a wonderful family together. My father and my
Okay, so you see this warning. Yes, good. So remember to plug your headphones in if you are in public space, or if you are somehow watching this with like other members that are kind of, I guess, underage or whatever. Maybe they are sensitive or whatever. If they are not sensitive, then it's fine. It's probably just fine. So I'm going to conduct this experiment. It's a bit weird, okay? It's going to be a bit weird. Trust me, I guarantee you it's going to be a bit weird. So the aim is to test YT algorithm, okay, on detecting what is itchy, okay, and what is not. So I'm gonna quickly do the setting.
in my car.
If today were the last day of my
that's,
life, I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. And whenever the answer is awful tasting medicine.
Okay, so firstly I gotta thank Aoi Ruru-chan or San or Osama as a respect. You can call her Sama, because yep, this is her videos. I extracted it because as I said, I created a generator. It's literally a generator, so you give it multiple input, it would generate as, you know, this random setting data audio source, okay, as BGM or however you call it, okay, or noise, okay. But so there you go. The test, okay. So let me just quickly set a timer. Okay, you're gonna quickly see within this time. Will the algorithm just detect it as, you know, something weird or hand, you know, just because of this short period? This is what I'm curious, okay, but like, yeah. So okay, so that's the end, okay. Wait. So let me quickly switch it back. Where's the thing here? I'm so confused. And I think it's gonna, oh,
About varying the amount of
okay, so experiment is done. So why would I wanted to test that? No reason. Actually, literally no reason, other than I'm just curious. Of course, I would thank Aoi Ruru-chan and whoever that's watching this video and experience that, be it how unpleasant or pleasant to you, and if somehow Aoi Ruru-chan is like doesn't agree or just like doesn't like what I have done, then gomenasai. And of course I would just honestly rather thank her, like, arigato, hontoni arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, so this is the testing, and of course I hope that this proves it to you that I actually created a generator. I'm not like faking you, I guess. Not like, you know, creating like some facade or I don't know, fake story that I've created a generator. Normally when I say I created it, I normally created it, and at least it probably work in Windows. At least now it's working in Windows. One day I may test it on Unix, but I expect it to work the same because I already make it quite generic, and I kind of test the basic functions to make sure it's kind of working. But of course the settings of Unix is kind of complex. The Linux, you know, some of it have some different packaging manager, some is like mutable aware, some is not mutable. It's just kind of tiring to test all of it and make sure all of them is working. But generally if it's mutable, then you can just move it into path or something, and you can just install FFmpeg play and whatever. Setting it up, then it's probably working most of the time. So, and I think like it's good enough for me, quality. So yeah, if like you think the animation is cool for this also, wait, oh yeah, I move it into the back so it's not rendering. So sorry if it's not moving. Sorry, it's supposed to be moving and cool looking. This is pure SVG animation, by the way. It's also generated, by the way. It's the base animation is extracted from some official website of a big company. I'm not going to tell you which website, but thank you to whoever made that website or developed that website. You know, the software engineer. It's cool. Thank you. it's originally from some website that sells things. So yeah, I noticed their loading screen. One of their loading screen shines, you know, logo or something. You know, it's kind of common. You know, shine like loading, or shine their logo. You know, like Facebook like that. You know, it's like drawing this. Okay, it's like drawing this. Okay? So I noticed it. Oh, quite cool. You know, so of course I know programming. So of course I'm gonna just extract it. And I noticed it's SVG. And I'm like, great, perfect. Because it's reproducible, customizable, and there's spec. Of course, fundamentally I gotta thank whoever that's like, you know, working in W3, you know, the standard, WW standard, okay? Or like, what do you call the SVG spec, okay? So, yeah, thank you to whoever designed it. This is pure SVG. There's no CSS, like literally no CSS. There's like zero. There's no JS. So very good, impressive. And that's it for this devlog. There's nothing much more I need to say other than just enjoy your life. And I think it's kind of dragged out, but I think it's all packed full and meaningful, even if it's kind of dragged out. So thank you and see you. Johnny.